No. There's just no way. There's really and it
You better do it. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be shitting me right now. Not even 3 days. Not even 3 days. 3 days. Okay? This was, I guess, man, a pretty quick decision. Okay? The news came out last night, I guess, tonight. I don't know, whenever you're watching this. All right. And, I had another video already made for tomorrow. And I scrapped that whole video because now with this news coming out, it absolutely makes no sense. So I had to scrap that. We'll add some stuff that I was going to add through the original video I had planned. And it looks like, and it's not official yet, guys. It's not official. But from this news right here, it pretty much is. Diana Russini puts out a report. It says both Eagles GM Howie Roseman, okay, and head coach Nick Sirianni have been reaching out to available NFL coaches and coordinators, as well as coaching agents across the league to evaluate potential coordinator candidates to join their coaching staff as they plan for the 2024 season. Wow, Jeffrey Lurie, that just took no time whatsoever. This little, you had the player exit interviews, you had this big meeting that was supposed to go down. And, all I was hearing from about Jeffrey Lurie and the hiring process is, Jeffrey Lurie takes his time. Takes his time. It wasn't even 3 days. Not even 3 full 24-hour days. And Nick Sirianni is hired. Now, we could take this in two different sides. Okay, one, the positive side, which is, is this next offensive coordinator or these coordinators, okay, are going to have their own playbook? Are they going to bring in their own offense, their own defense, and change things around? Or are we going to go through the same old shit? The scapegoat is the side. The scapegoat is Brian Johnson, bringing more scapegoats to take less blame off Howie Roseman and less blame off Nick Sirianni. Because I'm telling you right now, the Cowboys and Eagles have almost done the same thing. McCarthy got rehired, really officially. The Eagles haven't officially brought Nick Sirianni back, but not even Diana Russini's like, oh yeah, they're bringing Nick back. No, it's, Howie and Nick are going to be hiring, their coordinators. So, I know Nick hired his own staff. So maybe Howie Roseman helping Nick hire the staff will be better prognosis, will be a better, procedure, I guess, going into the 2024 off season. But the problem I'm having with this is I can believe the leaks that came out between the relationship between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. There's shit going on right now. Okay, I believe that 100%. There's a lot of stuff going on between both of them. When Jalen Hurts wanted to, do some more intermediate routes and do some different things and, give Sirianni some pointers on what they really have to open up in this offense. And Nick was like, nah, why not? We're not going to do it my way. And that's all that matters. Okay, even the post-game press conference from, Jalen Hurts, two things. He says that he doesn't even defend his coach, doesn't even say anything about defending him. They asked him about him leaving, about Nick potentially getting fired or leaving. He's like, I didn't know he was going anywhere. And then another question where, where do you think this is going? And Nick's and Jalen Hurts is like, I absolutely love everybody in the building, so two PR stated answers. So, skip the, breaking news. Nick Sirianni is hired back, again. Not a hard decision, not even 3 days, not a hard decision whatsoever. It was to a point where, a lot of the veterans in the locker room the other day from the exit interviews, Fletcher Cox was literally like telling a reporter to get the hell out of his face because he was shocked. I mean, he must not be on social media ever because he was shocked. As soon as a reporter was saying, "Oh, you hear about the rumors about Nick, maybe getting fired?" And Fletch was like, "What?" He flipped out and told the guy to get out of his face. I mean, that's how crazy it was. All of the veteran players, Jason Kelsey, all the veteran players, Brandon Graham, they all said great things about Nick. And I'm not expecting them to say bad things. They're not going to throw him under the bus or anything like that. Fletch was probably the strongest out of all of them, that he thought it was ridiculous that Nick was even considered to be fired whatsoever. Okay. So it's a crazy report that we just skipped by, that officially Nick is back. But, maybe this is wrong. This is true. This isn't this isn't fake. This is real. I checked, but not even announcing that he's even hired at this point. They're already coming together to look for new coordinators. What does Nick bring to the table? If Nick can't coach a defense, if Nick can't garnish plans with a good game plan for the offense, what does Nick do for this team? I really don't know what he does. When the team is winning, the positive thing about Nick is when we are winning and we are playing well, Nick is a great motivator. Nick is a great motivator on the field. He's a great motivator off the field. Okay, I 100% believe that. When this team is losing, you see that other side where Nick made himself look so dumb week by week by week by week in his stupid press conferences and saying dumb shit as of, "Oh, we've been running the same offense the last few years. Oh, yeah, we have to give Dallas Goedert the ball. Oh, yeah, we have to get Swift more involved." It's just like, repeating, throwing us a bone to make us happy, to think that it was all Brian Johnson's fault beginning of the season for a good while, 4, 5, 6 games in. But then finally realizing when Dave Spadaro was taking questions from Eagle fans a few weeks ago, we found out the truth that this offense was behind Nick Sirianni's game plan 100%. And this defense is what Nick wanted from last year going into this year. Okay, Nick has had more control over Gannon's defense from last year to where he came into this year and wanted the same thing and just gave it to another coach. That is a yes man, that will follow direction, that will not take the blame. So, during the season, the biggest panic move they made was kick Sean Desai out, not even fire him, but put him upstairs, in the booth. Why, I don't know. Matt Patricia takes over, the defense gets worse. I rest my case. So, we're going to get our answers. Okay, we're going to get our answers on who they hire, because if they hire some guy and we're like, who the hell is this guy? You already know it's a guy that Nick has control over to run whatever he wants to run. There is no fucking way, there's no way in hell that Howie Roseman is just going to sit there for another year and deal with the same fucking bullshit. Do not waste our offseason. Do not waste free agency. Do not waste the draft. Don't draft defensive linemen if you're going to pull your corners back. Don't draft corners if you're just going to put them 8 to 10 yards off the ball. Don't do it. Don't even waste your time at this point. I'm very fumed at this. And I understand there's going to be fans out there that are going to say to give it a chance. But I'm telling you, look, there might be some fans that are surprised. I'm shocked. I think I'm more shocked at the timetable, the short fucking timetable to keep this guy around. If Nick can't just be hired for a salary to be a cheerleader at this point. Because Nick will never be off the hook until we start playing normal. We're going to be able to tell when they hire these coordinators, when we get into the season of 2024, we're going to be able to tell off the bat who's running this offense. We're going to know the plays that are run. We're going to know 100%. And you know what? And when this happens next year and it fails, everybody's going to blame Jalen Hurts still. And the coaching staff is going to be, it's not on the coaching staff. It's on the quarterback. And I think that's totally unfair to all the players. You had multiple players. I'm talking weeks. I'm talking before the 49ers game. I'm talking by that game. There has been no fight. There is no sense of urgency. The locker room has pretty much given up on the head coach, not believing in what he's building here, especially during this season. The last 7 games were totally fucking atrocious. No adjustments, no urgency, no nothing. Okay? So we're going to be able to tell immediately if they hire some fucking assistant off the Browns, or I don't know, some assistant off some random ass team that we have no idea who it is, that has never had an offensive coordinator job, no good resume. You already know what's going to happen. You already know the game plan of what's going on. And it's just, man, I can't believe that. At least give it like a couple weeks. I mean, this is not even 3 days. And you hired this man off the freaking spot. I don't get it. I don't get how this is such an easy decision. The only positive thing I could think from getting out of this sticky situation is that they hired Nick and say, hey, we need more of a collaborative effort, because I think what's happening differently, I'm hoping what's happening differently right now is that now Howie is getting involved in the hiring process. I don't think he was last year. Yeah, obviously Nick Sirianni in the hiring process was, whatever. You know what I mean? Frank Reich said, hey, he's a great coach. Oh, yeah, let's go. Not giving any other head coaches a chance, but head coaches with pushback, head coaches with egos, head coaches with good resumes won't come to the Philadelphia Eagles because they know how the Eagles run things. They don't want to push. They don't want to, put their tail in between their legs for Howie Roseman and the front office. Okay? That's why you don't get a coach that has a good resume. You're getting these random, like, he's great, take my word for it, and then they hire him. That's what we do. That's what happens. So I'm just trying to calm down here, but it's really tough because I am shocked that we even got anything at this point. But let me get back to what I was going to say before I went off on another rant. The positive thing that I could take out of this is that there is a collaborative effort, that Nick is going to have more say. That's Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie will have more say. It says Howie Roseman with no Jeffrey Lurie. That will have more say, okay, and reach out to other coordinators around the league. I hope you get Frank Reich, Stolick from the Texans, Eric Bieniemy. I don't give a shit who it is. It better be somebody that I'm going to hear their name and be like, holy shit. That's what the reaction I want. Because if I get that reaction, that's a good thing. Okay? If we get like, James Smith from the Chargers, he was a wide receiver coach, now getting the offensive coordinator job for that's when I'm going to flip out. Because I already know what's going to happen. I already know the story. Don't write the book because I can read it before it happens. Okay? That's all I got to say on that whole situation to get that done 13 and a half minutes later. Like I said, veteran players, we talked about Fletcher Cox, that was very supportive of Nick Sirianni staying. Jason Kelce was the same way. And you got to remember, like I figured, Jason Kelce did stand up for Doug Peterson a while ago before he got, in the 2021 offseason. Jason Kelce did the same thing, kind of pulled for Doug, and Doug still got fired at the end of the day. I think the one thing the Eagles are trying to move out of right now, from what this report says by Diana Rossini, is that they are going to hire some new blood, okay? They'd already done that before with Sean Desai, and it hasn't worked out. But we know what names are going to make sense, and we know what we're going to know what's in place by that time. So we have some time to figure that out. So that's the whole situation with that. Let me know how you feel, because I am just not even 3 days. 3 days. And like, the decision was made in 2 seconds. And then, we heard about Kelce's retirement. We heard on, obviously, New Heights that Adam Schefter broke some news that wasn't supposed to break, and the retirement wasn't supposed to happen. There was no retirement decision made by Jason Kelce. Watching the New Heights with him talking about it and then kind of choking up in the end really choked me up. And I think it shows that he still wants to be here for another year. I got a feeling he will stay another year. We'll see what happens. I think he wants to see what happens with the rest of the coaching staff. If it seems promising for another championship, it is tough to just, and look, Colin Cowherd said this the best about the Eagles, especially late in the season. He said, if you have a head coach, if you lose coordinators, there should be no problem. Your head coach should keep what is intact with your offense that works. And because Nick Sirianni fell off so much the last 7 weeks, Colin Cowherd's pretty much said there's no way he's going to be here. And I'm still shocked in this moment that it's happening. So a good chance Kelsey returns. We'll see. And we heard from DeAndre Swift as well. The repeat reporters asked DeAndre Swift, will you be back with the Eagles? He said, we'll see. If the opportunity presents itself, we'll see when we get there. Time will tell. He was asked, what was special about playing for the Philadelphia Eagles? He said, everything. Besides Kelsey coming back, maybe Fletch coming back, Brandon Graham definitely wants to come back another year, okay? Besides Devontae Smith, his fifth-year option, which he really needs to get re-signed, the number one move, besides those moves, the number one move that I really do want, which I want an offensive coordinator to come in here and say, man, dude, we got to re-sign DeAndre Swift. Look at this offense that we have. I can put us in good position. It should intrigue an offensive coordinator that hopefully is not going to be controlled. DeAndre Swift, underutilized, over 1,000 yards, just hitting over 1,000 yards, second to last game of the season is a fucking crime, okay? I mean, seriously, at this point, dude, it's a crime. I mean, he should have been the second best back in the league with over 1,400 yards. It's absolutely criminal. I keep saying it over and over again because it is, because not enough chances for DeAndre Swift. We said when we trade for him on the third day of the draft, we said, man, if this guy stays healthy, he has an easy 1,000 yards, no doubt. And if it's all-purpose yards, he'll get it even faster. With his rush attack. And trust me, if we didn't see what he did in that Vikings game early in the season, they might have never fucking played him at that point. But why they value Kenneth Gainwell a lot more, I don't know. You're down to Kenneth Gainwell. I don't want Boston Scott back. The only one I care about coming back is DeAndre Swift, and go draft a running back in the late rounds or something, a guy that's under the radar, is a good rotational guy. I think it's time to start changing our running back core a little bit. And not trying to get Boston Scott back where he's just going to not get kick returns and be on the sideline for $1 million. It's not even worth the money at this point, even though $1 million is nothing. But DeAndre Swift was ultimately my favorite player playing for the Eagles this year. It was my favorite move. As much as I love Jalen Carter and some of these other moves, I thought that the trade for Swift, and I told everybody, I said, watch out for DeAndre Swift, because you're going to see a difference from what Miles Sanders did now to DeAndre Swift is night and day. And DeAndre Swift proved that he still got it, that he could stay healthy, that he could be used within a good scheme, and just not enough chances where he could have won a lot more games. And subbing him out on 3rd and short for Kenneth Gainwell to fucking pass 60, 70 yards downfield, I don't get it. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. It's a short one today. I had to put this out, and because this really, really bothered me. It bothers me that there was no time, not even a week, not even 6 days. Not even 3 days, and you already broke bread and it's already done. And did Nick get scrutinized? Did he get a slap on the wrist? I mean, seriously, what happened in that room? And I really hope they're making the right decision here. Not saying I don't like Nick as a person, but I do. This involves the Philadelphia Eagles, so I got to separate both sides. But I'm really hoping that Jeffrey Lurie gets more involved, and I don't know what Howie Roseman's doing. He better know. I mean, Howie Roseman, if you want to deal with the same shit you dealt with last year, whether you're the reason because of it, because you have the control. Why didn't you stop Nick from doing what he was doing the last 7 weeks? And you let it roll and roll and roll and roll. And then by the time we hit Tampa Bay, you're up in the press box like, oh my God, what's happening right now? I'm really confused. I don't know. So that's all I got to say, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Man, man, that was fast. Oh, man. 2 NFC East teams that haven't figured out their issues yet. The Cowboys and the Eagles. Unreal. But let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes up, follow, so peace out, guys. Peace.